The show which you are about to listen to is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of close friends, in particular, a tight-knit band of employees from a small, local horror marketplace. It is all the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could have not expected, nor would they have wished to present to you as much of the madness and macabre that you're about to witness. For most, an idyllic horror podcast has become much more than a nightmare. The banter that is about to unfold will most likely lead to one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history. Welcome to Terror Traders Creepcast.
What's up, creeps? It's Jason, aka the Pope of Pain, and the co-owner of Terror Trader. That's right, the West Coast like a hotspot for trauma out here. If you like, that's right. So, come down and put on your best tutu and grab your mop and give me some toxic Avenger love when you come down here. Hey, sitting next to me is my East Coast ghost, the Southern Kabuki man from Boston.
Oh yeah, Boston Kabuki.
That's what I call you. I don't know. JDK, what's up, dude?
What's up, Bodie?
Oh boy.
Today's an exciting day.
Yeah, I am. Oh my God, I'm pumped. So let me hit the button here. Let me get this ready. Because guys, straight ahead on the phone. Oh, got a little feedback here. That's all right. We got the president of Trauma Entertainment and the founder of a Toxic Avenger and a guest star here at Gathering of the Ghouls coming up, Mr. Lloyd Kaufman. What's up, Lloyd? How you doing, sir?
Greetings from Tromaville and especially to the Kabuki man of East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah.
I had a visit from Kabuki Ma'am after the recent Monster Mania convention. She was with us the whole weekend.
Oh.
Very excited. Very excited.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, man. So this is awesome.
Is that Monster Mania still happening in Cherry Hill?
Yes, yes, indeed, and more popular than ever. They had some kind of a reunion of boys who can't find their way home or something. I can't remember what.
Wow.
Charging the poor fans $250 for a signature.
Oh.
Yeah, these are all rich dudes.
I love it.
By the way, I don't charge for signature or photographs. In fact, I pay the fans to let me sign their baseball card.
I love it. This is gonna be such a fun time here in a couple of weeks, man. Which we'll talk about in a second, man. But I got to start. Look, 50 years of trauma. Wow. I mean, I don't think any other independent movie studio can actually say that, can they?
No, they cannot say that. It's amazing that we're still around. You're absolutely right. But thanks to people like J&J, Justin.
Yes.
Jason, we're still, I mean, our fans are the secret sauce. They do everything for us. No joke. They book theaters. They pick me up at the airport. They, they're amazing. And they also have given us money for a few movies. Some of the wealthy fans.
I love there's damn wealthy fans. I love those. And being an East Coast kid, we're both East Coast kids, and somehow we ended up out here. But it's we've been friends of trauma for decades, right? And so Lloyd, I've built up some questions. I got some questions for you, man. So I try to tell these kids that come in here that I don't know, man. Growing up in the '80s, making a horror movie in the '80s, the toxic waste movement was really big, and as long as you're a monster, you're a mutant, or your deranged killer was kind of like a byproduct of radiation. I think you have a fun movie on your hands. Was that kind of like the game plan of Trauma back in the '80s?
Well, we started in 1974 with a series of very funny, raunchy comedies ahead of the Porky's. A lot of those studios started making the same raunchy comedies we were making. We made Squeeze Play, Waitress, Stuck on You, The First Turn On. And they're very successful. They're funny as hell. And then the studios started making the same movies, but they were playing. They had their finger on the scale. They were using good actors and good scripts. So we had to move on to the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
We went into so-called. It wasn't a horror film. It wasn't. It's a satire. And all our movies, even the raunchy comedies, were based on serious current events.
Yes.
Class of Newcomb High was about a nuclear power plant being built right next door to New York with crappy cement and dead rats in the pipes, drunken workers. The most recent film, #Shakespeare Shitstorm.
Yes.
I hope you get a chance to see it because it's based on The Tempest, and it's got trained Albanian whales in it. It's a $50 million movie. It deals with the woke society and the pharmaceutical companies who charge us 20 times the amount for a drug that the dogs get for 5% of what we're paying.
Sure. No,
Anyway, Troma is fighting for the rights of citizens everywhere, especially the underdog.
It was a joy in the 80s, by the way, just to be a young kid grabbing a VHS out of the local mom and pop shop and be able to watch, like, say, Class of Newcomb High or these other ones have been amazing. So, and by the way, Shakespeare Shitstorm, I say we bring Lloyd back out this winter when it's a little bit cooler, and we rent a theater and do it. Let's watch this thing.
Definitely. In fact, one of our patrons is a company called Bad Dragon, and they reside in Phoenix. They have a great factory, and they make adult toys, wonderful adult toys. Many of them look like dragons, and one of them has Hillary Clinton sculpture head.
Wow.
And wonderful, and also regular adult toys.
Oh, okay, good. Sign me up for the Hillary Clinton one. Yeah, I'll take that one.
yeah. So anyway, they're out in Phoenix, and they're gonna. You'll meet them at. They'll come by Gathering of the Pool.
I'm excited. So you guys, I mean, Troma's always known to. You guys look fun. Like, you always have a good time. And I know that's the presence we want to have out here and all that stuff. But regardless if it is fun or not, you guys are definitely the wildest production studio I've ever seen. So which one of your films was the most fun to make? I know if that's even possible.
None of them.
Really?
No, none. They're all overly ambitious, for their budget. Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. There's a full-length documentary on our platform, Troma Now, which is a streaming platform.
Yes.
It has about 1,000 movies, 50 years of our movies, and every month Troma Now has new movies being put up. Some of them are our productions, and some of them are the James Gunn's and Trey Parker's, Eli Roth of the future.
Sure.
But you watch that documentary about Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. It's called Poultry in Motion. Truth is Stranger Than Chicken.
Yes.
It's funny. It's sad. It's pathetic. I'm a total asshole. I mean, it's the truth. It's, as Godel says, it's the truth. 24 frames a second. It's a real documentary. It's not like those HBO puff pieces where Mel Gibson didn't have his Perrier water.
I love it. Did you actually? I always hear this rumor. Did you pay James Gunn like $150 to write Romeo and Juliet? Is that a true statement?
I think yeah. He had written a book, though. He was a MA at Columbia. I read his book called The Toy Collector, which has when James became successful, the book was published. I read it back before Romeo. It was very well done. It's funny and dark and very James Gunn. So I didn't give him $150. I gave him $100.
I love it.
He came back about a week later. I had been working on Romeo and Juliet for 5 years, and I couldn't get a script that I liked. And he did it in about 10 days.
Wow.
Except he had 8 urination scenes.
I love it.
I like the urination, but that's too many,
Yeah. I hear that's amazing.
But other than that, he saved the day, no question about it. You can see how talented.
Yeah, he turned out all right, I guess.
Yes, and he's a great guy. He's a wonderful guy. Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Sure.
We were the first stop on the train for Cannibal the Musical. They are lovely guys. It couldn't be nicer. Eli Roth is a great guy. And the famous people who come out of Troma all love cinema, like you guys. They love movies. They're stressed, of course, but and I'm sure James Gunn was stressed out on Romeo and Juliet when we were producing it, much more than he was stressed out on, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
Right. That actually stressed me out.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
So it's always been Troma against the mega studios. It's always been you guys kind of put up this hell of a fight here. So with indie films, say like Terrifier out there these days that are really kicking ass and making it. So you ever think that independent film companies will be on the even playing field with major studios?
Well, now may be a good spot. We had a couple of good moments. We got into VHS before the studios did, so we had about 3 years of pretty good revenue, and then we got into DVD before people even had the machines, which was pretty stupid, but eventually it worked out. And we started a streaming service about 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our main hope. So please, if you're a Troma fan out there, please subscribe to Troma Now. It's free the first month and then only $4.95. That's really and it makes a little profit. And if it can grow a bit more, that would allow us to keep making movies, because we can't. The movies don't really make any money. They're great, but
right.
we tell people you're going to make a profit because the majors still control everything. And how cool that Terrifier is so successful. I'm very jealous. But there are other films that are very small budgets that are breaking out now on. The Winnie the Pooh public domain movie, I think, very well.
Blood and Honey, yeah, it was. That was fun. That was sporty. I love that one.
Good. So that's has the word "poo" in it. So.
It has poo in it.
I do have to say really quick, based on that Troma Now app, it saves our ass when we go home at night and we're unwinding from a long day here, and you can just throw on any of the selection of movies. And there's a lot. There's a whole lot.
Yeah.
The Troma Now app is
Yes.
great. Yes, free, and you get a month free. And every month we put up new movies, new shorts, music videos, stuff that I do on the side, and it's terrific. Nobody leaves.
No, you don't have to.
It's very small. It's very small, and with growing slowly. They can't afford to advertise, so anything you can do to spread the word, J&J, greatly.
You can't get a value meal for $4.99 these days. You get a month of Troma.
That's right.
So.
Yes, it's true. You're very true. And for the price of a Blu-ray, you get 6 months of Troma Now.
How about that?
Right? Well, Lloyd, a question I've always wondered, man. Is it easier to promote a film these days, or is there too much noise?
Well, again, we've got our fans. So our fans are pretty tuned to our social, to our Twitter and, to our X.
Yes,
and
yes.
Instagram and Troma, and my fan site at Lloyd Kaufman, and so they keep an eye on at Lloyd Kaufman is my Twitter, and I let them know where I'm going and what have you, and they're pretty attentive, so they're the core, and they kind of keep us going, really.
Yeah.
And but we have no money for advertising. We can't buy it.
I love it.
And we barely can make the movies. We're about to shoot in September a movie about insects, a comedy horror movie, but based on a theme that is important: the insect die-off.
Oh.
A lot of important insects are being killed by the fact that we're taking over their homes. Like the monarch butterfly is down 95%. Bees are down, but I don't know what the percentage is, but terribly. I mean, we can't have, we can't have fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, true.
Well, I guess other things can pollinate them, but anyway.
we get a lot.
Caterpillar. We're about to shoot Caterpillar.
Oh.
I'm not directing. I'm only producing. But very good script. One of my new proteges, and Kill Dolly Kill has just been finished and going to be premiered in Texas at the Fantastic Festival.
Yes,
that's nice.
Fantastic Festival, which I think is run by Alamo. And Kill Dolly Kill is very good. It's a drag musical horror film, a comedy. It's by Heidi Moore. Very, very funny, and Mercedes the Muse made a good movie, which is playing in a few theaters, called Divide and Conquer, a very strong, genuine feminist movie that men will be shocked, but women will understand.
I love it. So you're a family man, an amazing father, by the way. I think I'm a father of 3. What did the kids think about Troma growing up? Was it like shock and awe, like, or most of the time, or were they like, "Oh, hey, there's Dad on TV again, wearing a diaper"?
Well, they didn't watch a lot of television, but they were in our films.
Yes.
So they all got blown up into trees or kidnapped as an 18-month baby, or be part of a terrorist gang. But we shot the stuff as so that they didn't see any of the adult material. And my wife, I'll never forget Terra Firma, which has become a successful movie for us. It's about the making of a Troma movie, and certainly it's been extremely successful. She made a speech to the cast and crew on the first day on the main location. And she said that if Charlotte, our daughter, who was about 9 years old, if by chance she saw anything nude or graphically violent, that she would rip out the neck of the assistant director. So
I love it.
she knew I wouldn't abide by that rule, but
Right.
so she.
Have you guys ever been like, how remember Mothers of America? I think it was Mothers of America. Did anybody ever try to cancel Troma?
They tried to cancel me once. A couple of jerks who have podcasts. Because I thought that it had to do with Ain't It Cool News, where the guy who changed the world of journalism, who's a fat slob in a wheelchair, was accused 25 years ago of doing something gross.
Yes. And
the 2 girls were bragging on Twitter about how they spent 2 whole weeks writing this article, and so I got so I went on and said, "Oh, it looks like we got the Woodward and Bernstein of Twitter here," and then the couple of asshole bloggers jumped on and I suggested, people are innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And then I put a clip from the McCarthy hearings where the general saying to Senator McCarthy, "Have you no decency, sir? Have you no decency?" And then I got a lot of hate. But the fans went after the 2 blocks. And boy, they retreated with it real fast.
Yeah.
And one of them said, "Well, looks like Lloyd's paid PR army."
Jesus.
And then said, "Lloyd's made me go back to the dark place."
Hey, you don't mess with Troma, man. You don't mess with Uncle Lloyd.
What are you doing?
The fans are great because we tell the truth. I mean, we're on the right side. It's absurd.
There's an actual Troma army out there. But speaking of those slobs, is there anything out there that disgusts you in movies, Lloyd?
In movies?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, and I know that these are probably successful movies, but I didn't care for the first Terrifier. I congratulate Damien, but they hung Catherine upside, who was the star of Return to Nukem High and Return to Nukem High, and she wrote her own lines in #Shakespeare Shitstorm.
Yeah.
Catherine Cuthbert. They hung her upside down. I turned it off because it's not safe. Safety to humans is our very first rule of production. We should learn in Terra Firma.
Yes.
You get some hemorrhage from that. But God bless them. They've been very successful. Terrifier 2 is huge.
Yeah.
I was at a convention where our booth, there was a line going on forever to get Art the Clown's autograph. People were paying $40. It must have been 1,000 people who got the $40 autograph.
Oh yeah, now
they're on a hot. They're doing great, and again, any independent movie that does great, but it's not. I didn't like the first one. I also didn't like the what was the something movie, the Serbian movie.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Well, I didn't see what the purpose of it was, other than just to be, kill a baby or whatever.
Right.
Extreme, yeah.
I believe in, Samuel Fuller was a friend of mine. He was very independent, but I think 20th Century Fox released his movies like Shock Corridor and House of Bamboo. They all had themes from from the newspapers, and he was a newspaper man. And I've chosen that path. Every movie I've made have either political or social satire or themes that subtext,
Sure.
and I think that gives them kind of a classic, universal feel to obviously a very small audience. But after 50 years, a lot of them are playing in theaters still, including The Toxic Avenger. Theaters still call us up to book it. As a matter of fact, gents, TA in 4K. The Alamo chain has been running Toxic Avenger in 4K in their houses, all their chain of theaters. They've been screening it, the new 4K edition of the original Toxic Avenger, which is coming out in a box set. I think 8 discs of all the Toxic Avengers in 4K, and then they'll be all in, including the cartoons, all on Blu-ray, but they'll all be in the same box, and we'll lose a lot of money. I mean, it's great. It's great, though. It's really worthwhile. It's beautiful. It'll be a great legacy when I'm dead.
Which is, you got at least 25 more years, man. Uncle Lloyd, he's going to over 100. I can feel it. So, so we have a lot of, we run a big 6,000 square foot store here, and we have a lot of new customers to the horror world, to the Troma world. And I try to explain to them what Troma's about, pretty much on a daily. And then I try to say, you know what, watch this movie, and this defines Troma, and I'll give them maybe Toxic Avenger 4. Just say this encompasses Troma. If you ask me, what's a movie that you think actually, for a person who's never heard of you guys, that would just define your company?
I think Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger Part 4, is an excellent choice because it's got several important. It deals with abortion back in 2000. When things have even gotten worse.
Yes,
I mean, gee whiz, and it has other themes too that, if nothing else, are worse than ever. So I think that's a really good one But in terms of a gateway film, I would suggest Romeo and Juliet, because I think a couple who are dating could watch that and enjoy it and. In the context of what you see on Netflix these days, I think Romeo and Juliet is a pretty palatable and also very romantic, and it's probably one of the very few films that promotes incest, which has been extremely successful.
What a great date night movie. This is amazing. All right. So before we let you go here, let's talk about.
Thank you very much for having me, by the way. Thank you very, very much for having me. And I'm looking forward to the gathering. And,
let's talk about it. You're not only you'll be there shaking babies and kissing hands here, but you'll be alongside the 90-pound weakling. Mark Torgl will be there.
Oh, man, that's great. He's the best. He's wonderful and the nicest guy in the world. Most of the people, pretty much all the people who've come out of Troma, they love movies, and they're very, very nice people. There are very few shitheads who've come out of Troma. Really, it's extraordinary. I mean, my daughter's making a documentary, finishing it up, Occupy Can, which the fans and our family financed.
Oh.
And we've got guys from who worked for us from 20 years ago, Brian McNulty and Sean McGrath. They were editing for us maybe 25 years ago, and they've come back. They want to do something for Troma, so they've donated their services, and also the cartoonist brain part, but Mike Shapiro, who worked for us with James Gunn, as a matter of fact. Mike wrote some of the skits that James Gunn directed, and anyway, he's doing animation for that for free. And so the people who've worked for us, even though they've had to sleep on the floor and be screamed at, they seem to look back on it and have a very rosy, it was kind of a film school for them.
I love it. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Besides all your books, which we've read as well, and all that stuff. So you've had an amazing career. Yes. All right, Lloyd, we'll let you go, guys. So come down to the Gathering of Ghouls, August 26th, 27th. Hang with Uncle Lloyd. Watch The Toxic Avenger in our theater, and enjoy a good Q&A session afterwards. This will be fun.
Well, thank you very, very much, and congratulations on keeping independent cinema alive and raising the profile of independent cinema and supporting Tromaville. Really appreciate it. Thanks again.
We love you. We love you,
buddy. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you in a few weeks, my good friends.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good day. Man, what a guy.
Holy smokes, if I wasn't already excited to meet him, I'm infinitely more excited now.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing time. And it's, I have 1,000 more things to ask Lloyd, but like I said, with all the feedback we were getting on that fucking phone call, I'm not going to screen anybody's ears up anymore.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad it was like that, because now I'm just so much more eager to meet him.
Yeah, exactly.
So much is left unanswered. I got to go find out the answers.
One of the most charismatic. That's the word I'm looking for. Whatever. I didn't graduate.
Charismatic, baby. No, you got it. And also, now I'm just thinking, my mind's blown, right? So you're going to have him there.
Yeah.
Next to Charles Band.
Oh, shit.
Another guy that has been.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring Charles, but you know what? I want to see the raw reaction when those two see each other. It's those two love giving each other shit. It's so fun. It's going to be such a fun time.
Worth the price of admission in and of itself.
Yeah. And
Saturday only, by the way, with Charles.
Yeah. Charles is only Saturday only. Lloyd's there both days. But you can go watch, obviously, Toxic Avenger right there with Lloyd. Holy shit. You know,
right.
How about that?
And for all your Arizona people who have never left Arizona and you wanted to get a little taste in New Jersey, Tromaville will be there.
Oh, yeah.
All fucking weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
so you got to come party with us.
It's going to be amazing, man. So,
guys, what a guy, though, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And if you're listening to this afterwards and you're like, oh, shit, I missed it. Guess what? You fucking missed it.
We've been telling you for 3 months.
Yes. We're actually flashing back in time, and oh my God, it was one of the best fucking horror parties ever. This is crazy. So
I'm on crutches, actually.
Yes, he is on crutches because your butt hurts. So I don't know what happened there, but Uncle Lloyd got a little frisky. So all right, guys, we're gonna let this one go. We're gonna, like I said, this is a short, quick interview. Sorry, like I said, for we had a little bad feedback, but I wasn't going to fucking hang up on Lloyd and tell him to do it again.
Right.
We just deal with that shit. Take it like a man.
No doubt.
Take it like Toxic would take it. So, all right, guys. Hey, look, I think after this, we're going back to our regularly scheduled programming, and with just more bullshit fucking type of interviews, or just Justin and I, and bring Wolf Tummy back in here and have some fun or something. I don't know. We'll get back to our normal Creepcast now that we've went down the list almost, haven't we?
Yeah, we hit pretty much everybody, man.
Yeah, there's a few more. I mean, we can we may get Miko Hughes or something like that. Yeah. But if not, hey, whatever, man. We'll get back to. I know a lot of people are like, hey, we're looking forward to the regular horror talk. Well, it's coming.
It's coming, baby.
It's coming. So if you
stay tuned.
Stay tuned on that. So in the meantime, guys, let's see you at the Gathering of the Ghouls. We're about ready to do this. Let's get creepy.